Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
And Amira and I are here today with a great lesson for you.
Yes, we are.
Today, we're going to be talking about a restaurant. Amira, why don't you give us a little bit more details?
Well, we're talking about a situation in a restaurant and two people are involved, the waiter and the customer. And I don't want to say any more.
Okay, don't say any more. Let's just listen to this dialogue and we'll be back later to explain it.
Good evening. My name is Fabio. I'll be your waiter for tonight. May I take your order?
No, I'm still working on it. This menu's not even in English. What's good here?
For you, sir, I would recommend spaghetti and meatballs.
Does it come with Coke and fries?
It comes with either soup or salad and a complimentary glass of wine, sir.
I'll go with the spaghetti and meatballs, salad, and the wine.
Excellent choice. Your order will be ready soon.
How soon is soon?
20 minutes?
You know what? I'll just go grab a burger across the street.
Ma va un po', ti vieni in questo locale, mi fai tutte queste domande ancora? Ma va, pigliato.
Uh-oh, what a waiter.
What a waiter. He is really angry at this customer, and I can't blame him. I would be angry too.
Yeah. So, I think, Marco, you have chosen some interesting expressions for us here. What is the first one?
Well, the first one is, I'm still working on it.
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 Why don't we listen to some other examples on how you can use this word, and then we'll come back and explain it.
Did you finish reading the magazine?
I'm still working on it.
Did you fix my car?
I'm still working on it.
So you could say, I'm still working on it, means...
I still need more time.
Fantastic.
Great. Okay, it's clear.
I have another one for you guys. It's a phrase commonly used, and you'll hear it all the time. Coke and fries.
Coke and fries.
Coke and fries.
Coke and fries. It's a short way of saying Coca-Cola and French fries.
So that's basically America's fast food.
Yeah, burger, Coke, and fries.
Okay. What's next on the menu?
On the menu, we have a complimentary glass of wine.
Complimentary glass of wine.
Complimentary glass of wine.
Complimentary means?
That it's free.
Free.
Yes.
We love that, huh?
Yeah, we definitely like free things.
Well, I have another one for us here. Another interesting phrase. I'll go with.
I'll go with.
I'll go with.
I'll go with.
So basically, it's another way of saying I'm choosing.
Yeah, I'll choose or I'll take.
I'll take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good.
All right, the next word that I want to take a look at is grab.
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 Okay, now let's listen to some other examples of how we could use grab in different situations, and then we'll come back and explain it.
On your way home, can you grab some milk?
Wait for me, please. I need to grab my coat.
Let's grab a cup of coffee.
All right, well, I would understand that go grab means go get quickly.
To go get quickly, yeah.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So now it's time to listen one more time to the dialogue and listen carefully and try to understand why the waiter doesn't like the customer. Let's listen.
Good evening. My name is Fabio. I'll be your waiter for tonight. May I take your order?
No, I'm still working on it. This menu's not even in English. What's good here?
For you, sir, I would recommend spaghetti and meatballs.
Does it come with Coke and fries?
It comes with either soup or salad and a complimentary glass of wine, sir.
I'll go with the spaghetti and meatballs, salad, and the wine.
Excellent choice. Your order will be ready soon.
How soon is soon?
20 minutes?
You know what? I'll just go grab a burger across the street.
Ma va un po', ti vieni in questo locale, mi fai tutte queste domande ancora? Ma va a pigliare.
Marco, why did this waiter get angry at the customer?
Well, he basically wasted the waiter's time. I mean, this guy comes into the restaurant, he is not very polite, and he's asking all these questions, and in the end he just gets up and says, I'll just go grab a burger across the street.
Yeah, and I also think that this guy was a lot more casual than the place he was in, right?
Yeah, I think this was a nice, fancy restaurant, so I think he was in the wrong place.
Yeah. So how many times, Marco, tell me, do you really have fast food a week?
Fast food, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
No. I think I get fast food maybe once or twice a week. All right, talking about fast food made me hungry, so I think I'm going to go grab something to eat myself.
Yeah, me too.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson today, and remember that all of this vocabulary is useful for your everyday needs.
Yes. Well, actually, here in English Pod, we focus on phrases and words that are high frequency, and that means that you can use them every day in your practical life.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Podcast. I'm Tom, your host for today. If you are new here, I want to let you know that we upload a new English learning video every single day to help you improve your English faster and more confidently. In today's episode, you will not only practice your English listening skills, but also your speaking skills. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive amazing upcoming lessons. Today we are going to begin a powerful journey together. In the next 30 days, you will train your English speaking and listening skills step by step. Many people think that speaking English fluently is something only advanced learners can do, but that is not true. Fluency is not about knowing thousands of difficult words. Fluency means using the words you already know in a smooth, clear, and confident way. Think about it. Even in your first language, you do not use every word in the dictionary. You use familiar words every day, and you connect them naturally when you speak. The same is true for English. Fluency is not speed. Fluency is flow. It means speaking without long pauses, without getting stuck, and without worrying too much about mistakes. It is about expressing your ideas clearly even if you speak slowly. So in this training, we will focus on three main skills: clarity, flow, and confidence. These three will help you build a strong foundation. Speed will come later. Naturally, when your brain feels more comfortable, let's start with something simple but very effective. Imagine your daily routine. You wake up in the morning. You brush your teeth. You make your bed. You prepare breakfast. These actions may seem ordinary, but they are perfect opportunities to practice English in real life. Instead of doing these actions silently, describe them in English. For example, when you pour coffee into your cup, you can say, "I am pouring my coffee into the cup. It smells fresh and warm." This practice might sound too easy, but it is powerful. By saying what you are doing, your brain learns to connect actions with English words immediately. This is how you start to think in English without translating. Let's practice together right now. I will say a sentence and you repeat after me. I am brushing my teeth now. A little faster. I'm brushing my teeth. Do you hear the difference? The first is slow and clear. The second is smoother, more natural. This is how your English will improve step by step. Every day, choose at least 5 simple actions and describe them in English. It could be making tea, washing dishes, walking to work, or checking your phone. Speak out loud if possible. If not, whisper to yourself or think in English silently. The important thing is to keep the English channel open in your mind. Now, let's talk about listening. To be fluent, you must also listen actively. Active listening means paying attention not only to words but also to rhythm, intonation, and pauses. For example, listen to this sentence. Could you pass me the salt, please? Notice how the voice rises on could you and falls gently at the end. This rising and falling tone makes the sentence sound natural. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Could you pass me the salt, please? Good. The more you repeat these natural patterns, the easier it will be for you to speak with the same rhythm. Another excellent exercise is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a sentence in English and immediately repeating it, trying to copy the same tone, speed, and pronunciation. It is like echoing the speaker. Let's try it now. Slowly. I am going to the store to buy some bread. Now, normally I'm going to the store to buy some bread. Your goal is to sound as close as possible to the original speaker. Shadowing is one of the fastest ways to build fluency because it trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain at the same time. Here is your first challenge for today. For the next 1 hour, try to think in English as much as possible. When you look around, name the objects you see. When you plan your next task, say it in English in your mind. For example, I need to check my email or I am going to cook lunch. Do this again and again. Even if your sentences are short, it is fine. The goal is not perfection. The goal is practice. And remember this important rule. Mistakes are your best teacher. The only way to avoid mistakes is to stay silent. But silence will never make you fluent. Every time you speak, even with mistakes, you give yourself an opportunity to improve. So during these 30 days, speak as much as possible. Confidence grows when you practice without fear. Let's do one more speaking drill together before we continue. I will give you a short conversation. Repeat after me. Hi, how are you today? I'm doing well. Thank you. And you? I'm great. Thanks for asking. This type of simple, friendly exchange is the foundation of natural conversation. The more you practice it, the more automatic it becomes. You will not need to think about the words. They will just come out naturally. Fluency also means being prepared. One of the best ways to prepare is by learning ready-to-use sentences. These are sentences you practice many times until they roll off your tongue without effort. For example, can you help me with this? I'm not sure. Could you explain that again? If you practice these sentences daily, you will respond faster in real conversations. Let's try together. Repeat after me. Could you tell me how to get there again? Could you tell me how to get there? Now faster. Could you tell me how to get there? Another example. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Again. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Now faster. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Practicing these patterns builds muscle memory for speaking. Just like athletes train their bodies to move automatically, you are training your mouth to speak English smoothly and without hesitation. Before we close this first part, let me give you one final tip. Start describing things around you in English every day. For example, if you are at a bus stop, I'll say there is a blue bus coming down the street. It is stopping to pick up passengers. People are getting on and off quickly. This exercise helps you connect real life with English words, which is the fastest way to make English part of your daily thinking. All right, this is the end of part 1. In the next part, we will go deeper into listening skills, vocabulary expansion, and how to build longer sentences with more detail. Remember, practice clarity, flow, and confidence every single day. Your 30-day journey has just begun. Now that you understand the importance of clarity, flow, and confidence, let's go deeper. Fluency is not only about speaking in the moment. It is also about preparing yourself with habits that make English automatic. One of the most important habits you can build is active listening. Many learners listen passively. They watch videos or listen to audio without focusing on details. Passive listening may help a little, but it is not enough for fluency. Active listening means you notice how words sound, how sentences rise and fall, and how native speakers connect their ideas. For example, listen to this. I'm going to the park this afternoon. The stress is ongoing. Park and afternoon. Those are the important words. The smaller words like I'm too and the are softer. This rhythm is what makes English sound natural. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. I am going to the park this afternoon. Now a little faster. I'm going to the park this afternoon. Did you notice how some words become shorter or blend together? This is called connected speech, and it is very common in English when you listen actively. Pay attention to these small changes. Then copy them when you speak. Another excellent technique is shadowing, which we practiced in part 1. Let's try another one. Listen and then repeat immediately slowly. She is reading a book in the living room. Now, naturally, she's reading a book in the living room. The goal is to match the tone, the rhythm, and the speed. Do not worry if you make mistakes at first. Keep repeating, and your mouth will slowly adjust. Now let's move to another powerful habit, thinking in English. If you want fluency in 30 days, you cannot only practice during lessons. You must practice during your daily life. This means talking to yourself in English, even silently. For example, if you are cooking, you can think, I'm cutting the vegetables. I need to add some salt. The soup smells good. If you are walking outside, you can think, the sky is blue today. I can hear birds singing. I'm walking to the store. These short thoughts keep your brain connected to English all day. Here is a small challenge for you. For the next hour, try to keep your inner voice in English. Describe what you see, what you hear, and what you plan to do. At first, it may feel difficult, but if you keep practicing, you will notice that English becomes your natural way of thinking. Another important point is how you handle mistakes. Many learners are afraid to speak because they don't want to be wrong. But let me tell you something important. Mistakes are not failure. Mistakes are progress. Every time you make a mistake, you are pushing your brain to learn. The only real mistake is staying silent. So during these 30 days, I want you to speak boldly even if you are not 100% sure. Say the words. If you are wrong, that's fine. You can correct yourself and move on. The more you practice, the faster your confidence will grow. Let's do a speaking drill together. Repeat this short conversation with me. Good morning. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Practicing these simple exchanges again and again makes them automatic. Later, when you meet someone in real life, you won't need to think. The words will just come naturally. Now, let's talk about ready-made sentences. These are short, useful expressions that you can use in many situations. They save time and give you confidence in conversations. For example, could you help me with this? I don't understand. Could you explain again? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Could you tell me how to get there again? Could you tell me how to get there now? Faster. Could you tell me how to get there? And another one. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Again. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Now, naturally, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? By practicing these patterns, you are building muscle memory for speaking. Just like an athlete trains the same movement every day, you are training your tongue, your lips, and your brain to work together smoothly. Another exercise for fluency is describing your surroundings. This is very powerful because it connects English words to real objects and experiences. Let's try it together. Imagine you are in your kitchen. Repeat after me. There is a kettle on the stove. The water is boiling. Steam is rising from the spout. I can hear the sound of bubbles. Now look around your own room. Choose 3 objects and describe them out loud. For example, there is a chair next to the table. The window is open. I can see a tree outside. This habit will grow your vocabulary and train you to speak without hesitation. Another technique is connecting new vocabulary with personal memories. For example, if you learn the word delighted, don't just memorize the dictionary meaning, connect it to your life. Maybe you received a gift that made you happy. You can say, I was delighted when I opened the package and saw the book I wanted. This personal connection makes the word stronger in your memory. Let's try one more example. Suppose you already know the word happy and you learn a new word thrilled. You can practice like this. I was happy to see my friend. I was thrilled to see my friend. Do you feel the difference in emotion? Happy is good. Thrilled is stronger. By practicing variations like this, you will expand your vocabulary naturally and make your English more expressive. Now, let's practice speaking for longer. One of the best exercises is called the 1-minute challenge. Choose any topic and speak for 1 full minute without stopping. Do not worry about mistakes. Do not worry if you repeat words. The goal is to keep going. Let's try it. Your topic is my favorite food. For example, my favorite food is pasta. I like it because it is warm and filling. You can make many different sauces. My favorite is tomato with herbs. When I was a child, my mother cooked pasta every Sunday, and it made me feel happy. Now it's your turn. Speak for 1 minute about your favorite food. Keep going, even if it feels difficult. With practice, this exercise will make your speech flow more naturally. Finally, I want to share one more important tip. Fluency is a journey, not a moment. You will not wake up one day suddenly fluent. Fluency is built sentence by sentence, day by day, every time you speak, every time you listen actively, every time you think in English, you are taking a step closer. For the next 30 days, show up every single day. Even if you only practice for 10 minutes, it counts. Consistency is more important than perfection. Remember this, perfection is not the goal. Communication is the goal. Now that you have practiced describing daily actions, shadowing, and speaking for 1 minute, it is time to focus on another important skill. Transitions. Transitions are small, words and phrases that connect your ideas. Without them, your sentences sound like separate blocks. With them, your speech flows smoothly like a river. Think of transitions as bridges between your thoughts. They make your English easier to follow and more natural. Some common transitions are so actually by the way. In fact, you know, well, these words are short, but they are very powerful. They give you a second to think, and they make your conversation sound more connected. Let's practice. I will give you two short sentences, and we will connect them with a transition. I enjoy reading. It helps me relax. Now connect them. I enjoy reading because it helps me relax. Or I enjoy reading and it helps me relax. See the difference? The sentences no longer feel separate. They feel natural and smooth. Another example. I was tired. I kept working. You can connect them with even though I was tired. I kept working. Every day, take 5 random sentences and practice connecting them with transitions. For example, I need to buy milk. I want to visit my friend. You can say I need to buy milk, and after that I want to visit my friend, or I need to buy milk, but I also want to visit my friend. This small exercise will make your English flexible and fluent. Now let's talk about tone. Tone is the music of your speech, even if your grammar is correct. If you speak in a flat tone, you will sound less confident. Tone tells people whether you are excited, calm, curious, or serious. Let's try it. Say this sentence in a flat voice. That's a great idea. Now say it with energy. That's a great idea. Do you hear the difference? Tone adds life to your words. Let's do one more. Repeat after me with energy. I'm so happy to see you again. Now say it calmly. I'm so happy to see you. Tone changes the feeling even when the words are the same. Practicing tone will make your English sound alive and engaging. Another important skill is what to do when you forget a word. This happens to everyone, even native speakers. The secret is not to freeze. Instead, use simple words or explain the idea in another way. This technique is called circumlocution. For example, if you forget the word microwave, you can say the machine that heats food quickly. If you forget the word wallet, you can say a small case where I keep my money and cards. Let's try together. Imagine you forget the word umbrella. How can you describe it? You could say it is something you hold over your head to protect yourself from rain. See, you can still communicate even without the exact word. Practicing circumlocution will make you fearless in conversation. You will always find a way to express yourself. Now, let's train your reaction time. In real conversations, people expect a reply quickly, not after a long pause. So, let's practice short, quick answers. Ready? What's your favorite drink? Say it now. Where did you last go on holiday? Answer immediately. What is one thing you enjoy doing in your free time? Speak your answer quickly. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to answer fast without overthinking. With practice, your responses will become automatic. Here is another important mindset shift. Every conversation is practice. Whether you're talking to a friend, a colleague, or even to yourself. Every moment you speak English counts. Do not wait for the perfect moment. It is happening now. Even small exchanges help. Saying hello to your neighbor, asking the cashier a question, talking to someone on the bus. All of these are opportunities to train your fluency. The more you take these chances, the faster you will improve. Let's do a mini exercise. Imagine you meet someone in an elevator. They say, "Hi, how's your day?" You can reply, "It's going well. Thank you. How about yours?" Short, simple, but real practice. Now let's talk about another powerful habit, daily topic immersion. This means you choose one topic each day and surround yourself with English about it. For example, today's topic could be travel. You can read a short article about travel tips, watch a short video about destinations, and then speak about your own travel experiences. Let's try with a simpler topic. Food. I will ask you some questions and you answer out loud. What is your favorite dish and why do you like it? How often do you eat it? Can you describe the taste and texture? Answering these questions will push you to think more deeply about everyday topics. To make it even more effective, write new words in a notebook or in your phone. Then, use each new word 3 times during the day. For example, if the new word is crispy, you can say, "The fries are crispy on the outside and soft inside. I like crispy toast in the morning. My shirt makes a crispy sound when I fold it." Repeating new words in real sentences will move them into your active vocabulary. Another excellent habit is storytelling. People love stories, and stories are also powerful practice for English. Telling a story trains you to use past tense, descriptions, and sequences. Let's try a short one together. Repeat after me. Yesterday, I walked to the store. I saw a beautiful rainbow. It was so bright and colorful that I stopped to take a picture. A little girl next to me pointed at it and smiled. This story is simple, but it has details, emotions, and actions. The more you tell stories, the more natural your English will sound. One common problem learners face is speaking in very short, basic sentences. For example, I went to the market. I bought fruit. It was good. This is correct, but not very engaging. Let's expand it. I went to the market early in the morning because I wanted to buy fresh fruit. The air was cool, and the smell of strawberries filled the stalls. I bought a basket of strawberries, some sweet mangoes, and a bunch of bananas. See the difference? By adding details, your speech becomes richer and more interesting. Here's an exercise. Choose one thing you did today and describe it in 3 ways. Simple. I went for a walk. Detailed. I went for a walk around the neighborhood this morning and saw flowers blooming. Emotional. I went for a peaceful walk this morning, and the bright flowers made me feel calm and happy. This will train you to express the same idea with more depth. Finally, remember to celebrate small improvements. Maybe today you responded without translating in your head. Maybe you understood a fast sentence on the first try. Maybe you told a story and the listener smiled. These are victories. Notice them. Celebrate them. They are proof that your fluency is growing. You have already practiced transitions, tana, storytelling, and adding details to your sentences. Now it is time to combine listening and speaking in powerful ways. Many learners separate these 2 skills, but when you train them together, your fluency grows much faster. One excellent method is called echo practice. Echo practice is similar to shadowing, but instead of repeating at the exact same time, you pause briefly and then repeat. This gives your brain a moment to process the sentence before you speak it. Let's try together. I will say a sentence. You pause for 1 second, then repeat it. I'm learning new phrases every day. Now you repeat. I enjoy practicing English in the morning. Now you repeat. I'm becoming more confident with my speaking skills. Now you repeat. Doing this for only 5 minutes each day can make a big difference to your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. Another technique is question switching. In many conversations, learners only answer questions, but they forget to ask back. Question switching means answering and then immediately asking the same question or a related one. This doubles your practice and keeps the conversation alive. For example, Person A, how was your weekend? You, it was great. Thank you. How was yours? You see, one question becomes two exchanges. Let's practice. I'll ask you some questions. You answer, and then ask me the same question. What do you usually have for breakfast? Answer it. Then ask, what do you usually have for breakfast? When was the last time you traveled? Answer it. Then ask me, when was the last time you traveled? What's your favorite hobby? Answer. Then ask me, what's your favorite hobby? The more you practice question switching, the more natural it becomes. It also shows that you are interested in the other person, which makes conversations friendlier. Now let's practice reaction phrases in real life. Conversations are not just about long answers. They also include small, quick reactions. These short responses make you sound engaged and give you time to think. Some useful reaction phrases are, really? That's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Exactly. I see what you mean. Let's practice together. Repeat after me with natural tone. Really? That's interesting. I see what you mean. Exactly. Now, imagine this situation. Someone tells you, I just learned how to cook pasta. You can instantly reply, really? That's great. Small reactions like, this make your English sound alive, not robotic. Another skill to develop is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means saying the same idea in a different way. This is very powerful because it allows you to continue speaking even if you forget a word or phrase. It also shows flexibility in your English. Let's try. I'll give you a sentence. You think of different ways to say it. I'm very tired. You could say, I feel exhausted. Or, I'm worn out. Or, I don't have much energy left. Another one. The movie was good. You could say, I really enjoyed the movie. Or, it was entertaining. Or, it was worth watching. See how many options you can create. Paraphrasing helps you avoid silence and keeps the conversation flowing. Now, let's focus on describing feelings and opinions. Many learners stop at short sentences like, I like it. But to build fluency, you should add reasons. For example, I like this cafe because the atmosphere is relaxing and the coffee always tastes fresh. Adding reasons makes your sentences longer and richer. It also helps you connect with people on a deeper level. Here is a practice exercise. I'll ask you some questions. Answer with your opinion and give at least one reason. Do you enjoy cooking? Have you ever traveled abroad? What kind of music do you like? Remember, answer fully. Don't just say yes or no. Add details and reasons. Another important skill is speaking in different time frames. To be fluent, you must talk naturally about the past, the present, and the future. Let's practice with one action. Cook dinner. Past. I cooked dinner last night. Present. I'm cooking dinner right now. Future. I'm going to cook dinner tomorrow evening. This exercise keeps your grammar flexible and prepares you for any situation. We should also practice expanding short answers. If someone asks, do you like reading? You could just say, yes. But that ends the conversation. Instead, try yes. I like reading because it helps me relax and learn new things. Here's an exercise. I'll ask a question and you answer with at least 2 extra details. Do you enjoy sports? Have you ever watched a movie in English? What's your favorite season of the year? The goal is to stretch your answers and speak longer. Now, let's talk about self-correction. Mistakes happen and that is okay. But if you notice a mistake, correct yourself quickly without stopping the conversation. For example, if you say, she go to the market yesterday, you can immediately say, sorry, she went to the market yesterday. Here's a quick drill. Speak for 1 minute about any topic. If you hear yourself make a mistake, repeat the sentence correctly right away. This practice will train your brain to notice errors and fix them automatically. Another powerful way to improve is to add emotion and personal connection to your speaking. Think about how you talk to a close friend. You don't just share facts, you add feelings and reactions. For example, I went to the park and the sun was shining so brightly. I felt so happy just sitting on the grass watching the birds fly around. This type of storytelling makes your English more memorable and engaging. Finally, I want you to challenge yourself to speak longer. If today you can speak for 1 minute, aim for 2 minutes next week, then 3, then 5. It does not have to be perfect. The goal is to expand your comfort zone. By the end of 30 days, speaking for 5 minutes will feel completely natural. In the last part, we talked about echo practice, reaction phrases, paraphrasing, and self-correction. You also learned to expand your answers and to speak in different time frames. Now, let's build on those skills with 3 more powerful techniques. Thinking aloud, expanding and extending sentences, and using fillers. Let's start with thinking aloud. This means saying your thoughts in English as you go about your daily life. Imagine you are narrating your own day like a storyteller. For example, if you are walking to the store, you can say, I'm walking down the street. The weather is warm today. I can smell fresh bread from the bakery on the corner. If you are cooking, you might say, I'm chopping onions. They make my eyes water. Now I'm adding oil to the pan. The sound of sizzling is so loud. This habit is simple but very powerful. It trains your brain to form sentences in real time without translating from your first language. If you cannot speak out loud because you are in public, you can still do this silently in your head. For example, after I finish this, I'm going to check my emails. Then I need to buy vegetables for dinner. Thinking aloud turns English into your default way of processing the world around you. The more you do it, the faster you will become at speaking naturally. Next, let's move to expanding and extending sentences. This means taking a short, simple sentence and adding more detail to it. It helps you speak longer, gives you more practice, and makes your English sound richer. Start with something basic like, I like coffee. Now expand it. I like coffee because it helps me wake up in the morning. Now extend it further. I like coffee because it helps me wake up in the morning and I enjoy the rich aroma that fills the kitchen as it brews. Do you see how the sentence grew from just 3 words into a full idea with details and feelings? This practice is excellent for fluency. Let's try a few more together. Start. I enjoy music. Expand. I enjoy music because it helps me relax. Extend. I enjoy music because it helps me relax after work and it reminds me of happy times with friends. Another example. Start. I went shopping. Expand. I went shopping yesterday to buy some new clothes. Extend. I went shopping yesterday to buy some new clothes, and I found a beautiful jacket on sale that made me very happy. If you practice expanding and extending every day, even for 5 minutes, you will quickly train yourself to speak longer without pausing. Now, let's look at fillers. Fillers are small words or sounds that give you time to think without stopping completely. Native speakers use them all the time. Words like, well, you know, actually, I mean, for example. Well, I think we should start now. You know, that movie was better than I expected. Actually, I've never tried that before. These fillers make your speech sound more natural. But remember, don't overuse them. Too many fillers can make your sentences unclear. Use them only when you need a moment to think. Let's practice. I'll give you a sentence, and you add a filler at the beginning. It's raining today. Well, it's raining today. I like reading books. You know, I like reading books. I don't have time for that. Actually, I don't have time for that. With practice, fillers will come naturally into your speech, giving you time to plan your next idea. Another useful habit is varying your sentence length. If every sentence you say is short, your speech can sound choppy. If every sentence is long, it can become confusing. A mix of short and long sentences makes your English more dynamic and interesting. For example, short, I love traveling. Long, I love traveling because it gives me the chance to explore new cultures, meet interesting people, and taste different foods. This natural variation keeps your listener engaged. Here is a challenge for you. Record yourself speaking about any topic for 2 minutes. When you listen back, notice your pauses, tone, and speed. Are you using fillers? Are your sentences all short, or are they balanced? Then record yourself again on the same topic and try to improve just one thing. Self-feedback like this is one of the fastest ways to grow. You will hear your habits and become more aware of how you sound. Another technique that works very well is role-playing. This means imagining real-life situations and practicing them in advance. Role-playing prepares you for the kinds of conversations you will face in daily life. For example, if you practice ordering food at a restaurant, you might say, "Good evening. I'd like to order the grilled chicken with vegetables, please." Then imagine the waiter asks, "Would you like anything to drink?" You respond, "Yes, I'll have a glass of water. Thank you." By practicing this situation, you will feel more confident when you order food in real life. Let's try another one. Imagine you are at the airport check-in counter. The agent says, "May I have your passport, please?" You reply, "Yes, here it is." Then the agent says, "Would you like a window or an aisle seat?" You answer, "I'd like a window seat, please." These role plays are short but very effective. They give you automatic responses that you can use immediately in real conversations. Another skill to build is asking follow-up questions. Many learners answer questions, but they don't keep the conversation going. For example, if someone says, "I went to the beach last weekend," you can respond, "Oh, really? Which beach did you go to?" Or, "That sounds nice. Was the weather good?" Follow-up questions make you sound curious, friendly, and engaged. They also give you more practice speaking. Here's a small drill. I'll give you a sentence, and you think of 2 follow-up questions. I bought a new phone. Possible questions: what kind of phone is it? And why did you choose that model? Doing this regularly will make your conversations more dynamic. Finally, let's focus on rhythm. English has a natural pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. Practicing rhythm will make your speech smoother and easier to understand. Say this sentence with me. I'm going to the store to buy some milk. The stressed words are going store, buy, and milk. The other words are softer. Another example, she's working on a big project at the office. Stress working big project in office. Try to copy this rhythm. It will make your English sound more natural. In the last part, you learned about thinking aloud, expanding sentences, using fillers, and practicing role plays. You also discovered how to ask follow-up questions and pay attention to rhythm. Now, let's go further and focus on some advanced but very practical techniques. Polite pauses, mirroring, switching between formal and informal English, and answering why and how questions more fully. Let's begin with polite pauses. In conversation, sometimes you need a second to think. Many learners panic and go silent, which can feel awkward. Instead, use short phrases that buy you time. These phrases sound natural and keep the conversation flowing. For example, that's a good question. Let me think for a moment. Well, I suppose let me see. These little expressions show confidence. They tell the listener you are thinking, not that you are lost. Let's practice. I will ask you a question, and before you answer, use a polite pause. What is your favorite holiday destination? You could start with, that's a good question. I think my favorite holiday destination is C. This gives you a moment to organize your thoughts while still sounding natural. Now, let's talk about mirroring. Mirroring means copying not only the words, but also the body language, tone, and pace of the person you are speaking to. If someone speaks quickly, you respond a little faster. If they speak calmly and slowly, you also slow down. This makes communication smoother and helps build connection. Of course, if you practice alone, you can mirror what you hear in videos or audio clips. For example, listen to a line in a movie and then repeat it with the same speed, pitch, and emotion. Try this. I can't believe it's already Friday. Repeat it with the same excitement. Another one. I didn't expect that at all. Say it with surprise in your voice. And one more. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Match the energy and tone. Mirroring helps you sound authentic because you are learning not just words, but also the music and emotion of English. Next, let's practice switching between formal and informal English. In real life, you will face different situations. Sometimes you need casual language with friends, and sometimes you need polite, professional language at work. Being able to switch between them shows flexibility. Here are some examples. Informal, hey, what's up? Formal, good morning. How are you today? Informal, I'm going to grab a coffee. Formal, I'm going to get a coffee. Informal, want to hang out later. Formal, would you like to meet later? Let's try this together. I will give you a sentence, and you say it in both styles. Sentence, can we talk tomorrow? Informal, hey, can we talk tomorrow? Formal, would it be possible to talk tomorrow? Practicing both styles will prepare you for any type of conversation. Now, let's focus on why and how questions. Many learners answer these too briefly. If someone asks, why do you like living here? A short answer might be because it's nice, but that ends the conversation. A better answer would be, I like living here because the weather is pleasant and there are many parks where I can relax. If someone asks, how do you usually spend your weekends? Instead of saying I read, you can say I usually spend my weekends reading, going for walks, and meeting friends for coffee. It helps me relax after a busy week. Adding reasons and examples makes your answers longer and more interesting. It also gives you more speaking practice. Here is an exercise. I'll ask you some questions and you answer with at least 2 reasons or details. Why do you enjoy your favorite hobby? How do you usually celebrate your birthday? Why do you want to learn English? When you practice this daily, your answers will become fuller and more fluent. Another important skill is pronunciation drills. Some English sounds are tricky for learners. For example, the thief sound in words like think and this. For think, put your tongue between your teeth and push air out. The hang. For this, Use the same tongue position, but add your voice. Let's try some together. Think, thought through. Now this, that, these, those. Repeat them slowly, then faster until they feel natural. Clear pronunciation makes your speech easier to understand and gives you confidence. Even if your grammar is not perfect, good pronunciation helps people follow you. Another powerful habit is borrowing phrases from real conversations. When you listen to movies, podcasts, or YouTube videos, notice the expressions native speakers use. Write them down and practice them. For example, if you hear, "I've been meaning to try that," repeat it later in your own sentences. "I've been meaning to read that book." "I've been meaning to visit that restaurant." This way you are constantly refreshing your vocabulary with real modern English. Now let's do a mini goal exercise. Choose one phrase you learned today. Use it at least 3 times during the day in your own speaking practice. For example, you might use "That's a good question." Try it in 3 different contexts when someone asks you about your favorite food. When you imagine a job interview, when you practice with a friend by repeating phrases in real situations, you move them from passive knowledge to active fluency. Finally, let's talk about confidence and imperfection. Many learners believe they must speak perfectly before they can be fluent. But the truth is, even native speakers make mistakes. They correct themselves, repeat words, or change their sentences. What makes them fluent is not perfection. It is confidence. So, your goal for the next few days is simple. Practice speaking without fear. Use polite pauses when you need time. Mirror what you hear. Switch between formal and informal language. Answer why and how. Questions with details. Even if you make small mistakes, keep going. In the last part, you practiced polite pauses, mirroring, switching between formal and informal English, and answering why and how questions in detail. You also worked on pronunciation drills and learned to borrow useful phrases from real conversations. Now, let's go even further. In this part, we will focus on memory-based speaking, comparisons, giving explanations with examples, and the what-if game. Let's begin with memory-based speaking. This is when you describe something from memory, such as a conversation you had, a place you visited, or a meal you ate. When you do this, you practice organizing ideas without reading or repeating exactly what you just heard. For example, think about your last visit to a cafe. You can say, "Last Sunday, I went to my favorite cafe. I ordered a cappuccino and a slice of chocolate cake. The cafe was busy, and the sound of people chatting made the atmosphere warm and friendly. I sat by the window and watched the rain outside." This type of practice combines vocabulary, grammar, and storytelling all at once. Let's make it more challenging. Try describing the same memory in 3 ways, short and simple. I went to the cafe and had coffee. Detailed. I went to the cafe on Sunday morning and ordered a cappuccino and chocolate cake. The place was busy and I enjoyed the lively atmosphere. Emotional. I went to the cafe on Sunday morning. Drinking a warm cappuccino while watching the rain outside made me feel completely relaxed. By practicing different versions, you train your flexibility in expressing ideas. Next, let's focus on comparisons. Comparing 2 things helps you use adjectives, connect ideas, and speak for longer. For example, tea and coffee are both popular drinks. Tea has a lighter flavor, while coffee is stronger and more bitter. Let's try another one. Summer and winter are very different. Summer is warm and sunny, and people spend more time outdoors. Winter is cold, and people usually stay inside more often. Now you try. Compare books and movies. For example, books allow you to imagine the scenes in your mind, while movies show you the story visually. Comparisons give you endless material to practice with. You can compare foods, cities, hobbies, or even people's personalities. Now, let's move on to giving explanations with examples. One mistake learners often make is giving very short answers. For fluency, you need to explain your answers. Adding examples makes your speaking more interesting and easier to understand. For example, if someone asks, "Do you like swimming?" Instead of just saying yes, you can say yes. I like swimming because it helps me stay fit and I enjoy being in the water, especially in the summer. For example, last year I swam almost every day during my vacation, and I felt very healthy. Notice how the example makes the answer stronger. Here's another example. If someone asks, "Do you think learning English through movies is useful?" You can answer, "Yes, I think it's useful because you can hear real conversations." For example, I learned the phrase, "Take your time" from a movie, and now I use it in daily life. Let's practice. I'll give you some questions. Answer them with explanations and examples. Do you enjoy reading? Do you think exercise is important? Should students use technology in the classroom? Each time, remember to add at least one example. Now, let's play the what if game. This is a fun way to practice speaking because it uses imagination. You ask yourself a question beginning with what if, and then answer it. This helps you practice different tenses, vocabulary, and creativity. For example, what if I won the lottery? Answer: if I won the lottery, I would travel the world, buy a house by the beach, and help my family. Another one: what if I could speak every language in the world? Answer: if I could speak every language, I would make friends everywhere, work internationally, and learn about many cultures. Let's try together. Answer these questions out loud. What if you could fly like a bird? What if you never had to sleep? What if you met your favorite celebrity? This game is not only fun, but also excellent practice for fluency because it forces you to create longer, imaginative sentences quickly. Another way to grow your fluency is by practicing step-by-step explanations, also called process descriptions. For example, you can describe how to make tea. First, I boil some water in a kettle. Then I put a tea bag into a cup. When the water is hot, I pour it into the cup and let it sit for a few minutes. After that, I remove the tea bag and add sugar or milk if I want. Finally, I stir the tea and drink it. Describing processes like this is very useful for fluency. It makes your speaking organized and clear. You can practice by explaining how to cook your favorite dish, how to use a phone app, or how to get from one place to another. Finally, let's talk about motivation. Speaking English every day for 30 days can feel hard, but reminding yourself of your reason is important. Why do you want to be fluent? Is it for work, for travel, for making friends around the world? Keep that reason in mind. When you feel tired, your reason will push you to keep going. Here's a quick motivation exercise. Say out loud, "I want to learn English because," and finish the sentence. Do this every morning. It will remind you why you are practicing. So, in part 7, you learn to practice memory-based speaking. Make comparisons, explain with examples, play the what if game, and describe processes step by step. These techniques give you structure, variety, and creativity in your speaking. In the last part, You learned how to practice memory-based speaking, make comparisons, explain with examples, play the what if game, and describe processes step by step. Now, let's continue by focusing on 4 powerful techniques: describing images, practicing nonstop speaking, using contrasts, and building listening memory. Let's start with describing images. This is one of the best ways to practice observation and vocabulary. You can use photos from a magazine, pictures online, or even things you see around you. Look at the image closely and describe everything you notice. For example, in the picture, there is a family having a picnic in the park. The parents are sitting on a blanket and smiling at each other. Their children are playing with a ball nearby. The sun is shining brightly, and there are tall trees in the background. When you describe images, you train yourself to use present tense, adjectives, and prepositions. You also practice creating sentences quickly. Now, let's take it a step further. Add imagination. Create a small story about the image. For example, I think this family came to the park to celebrate a birthday. They probably brought homemade sandwiches and drinks. The children look very happy because they don't often get to play outside together. This practice forces you to use not only observation, but also creativity. It gives you more vocabulary and more confidence in expressing ideas. Here's a challenge for today. Find one picture online or in a book and describe it for 1 minute. First, describe only what you see. Then add a short story about it. Next, let's focus on nonstop speaking. This means speaking for a set amount of time without stopping. Even if you make mistakes or forget words, the goal is not perfection. The goal is to keep going. Start with 1 minute. Choose any topic like your favorite food, your weekend plans, or your morning routine. Speak without stopping until the time is finished. If you don't know a word, explain it another way. If you make a mistake, correct yourself quickly and continue. After 1 week, try 2 minutes, then 3. Over time, you will notice that your sentences flow more easily. Let's practice together. Now, your topic is my last shopping trip. Speak about when you went, where you went, what you bought, and how you felt. Remember, don't stop. Keep speaking, even if you repeat yourself. Now let's practice contrasts. Contrasting 2 things gives you more material and helps you use a wider range of vocabulary. For example, in the city, life is fast-paced and noisy. People are always in a hurry and there is traffic everywhere. In the countryside, life is slower and quieter. You can hear birds singing and people have more time to talk to each other. Another example, at home, I can relax and wear comfortable clothes. At work, I need to dress more formally and focus on my tasks. Now try it yourself. Contrast these pairs, morning and evening, summer and winter. Reading a book and watching a movie. Practicing contrasts will help you train your brain to organize ideas quickly and express them clearly. The next skill is listening memory. This is when you listen to a short conversation and then repeat as much as you can remember. It trains both comprehension and recall, which are essential for fast, fluent responses. Here's a simple example. Speaker A, I'm going to the store to buy some vegetables. Do you need anything? You repeat, you're going to the store to buy vegetables. And you asked if I need anything. By practicing this, you strengthen your listening and speaking at the same time. Here's a practice round. Listen carefully. I watched a movie last night. It was very funny and I laughed a lot. Now repeat in your own words. You watched a movie last night. It was funny and you laughed a lot. Another one. I'm studying English every day because I want to speak fluently. Now repeat. You're studying English every day because you want to speak fluently. This kind of practice will make you quicker and more confident in real conversations because you will not need to translate slowly. Let's combine everything we learned in this part into one exercise. Imagine you see a photo of a busy street in a city. First, describe what you see. There are many people walking on the sidewalk. Cars are moving slowly because of the traffic. Shops are open, and some people are buying food from a street vendor. Now add a short story. Maybe these people are shopping after work. The children are probably excited because they can eat street food. Next, contrast it with the countryside. In the city, the streets are full of people and noise. In the countryside, the roads are quiet and you can hear the wind in the trees. Finally, add nonstop speaking. Talk for 1 full minute about city life versus countryside life. Keep going even if you repeat some words by combining describing storytelling, contrasting, and nonstop speaking. You will stretch your fluency in many directions at once. Before we close part 8, let's review the key techniques you learned today. Describing images in detail. Adding imagination to create a short story. Practicing nonstop. Speaking with time limits. Using contrasts to organize and compare ideas. Building listening memory to improve comprehension and recall. These exercises will help you speak longer, faster, and more creatively. This is the end of part 8. In part 9, we will focus on using emotional language, self-recording for feedback, role-playing conversations, and practicing follow-up questions in more depth. These will help you sound more natural, friendly, and engaging when you speak English. In the last part, you practice describing images, nonstop speaking, using contrasts, and building listening memory. These techniques gave you more flexibility and fluency. Now, let's move forward with 4 more powerful skills. Using emotional language, self-recording for feedback, role-playing conversations, and practicing follow-up questions in depth. Let's begin with emotional language. Many learners speak only with facts. For example, I went to the park. The weather was nice. This is correct, but it sounds flat. To make your English more engaging, add feelings and emotions. Instead of saying, I went to the park. The weather was nice. Try, I went to the park and I felt so relaxed because the weather was warm and the sky was bright blue. Or, I went to the park and I felt full of energy as the cool wind touched my face. Adding emotions makes your English come alive. It also helps you connect with listeners because they feel what you feel. Here's a practice exercise. I'll give you a simple sentence and you expand it with emotions. I ate dinner. I ate dinner and I felt so happy because it was my favorite dish. I watched a movie. I watched a movie and I laughed so much because it was really funny. I met my friend. I met my friend and I felt grateful because we hadn't seen each other for months every day. Take one activity and describe not only what you did, but also how it made you feel. Now let's talk about self-recording for feedback. This is one of the most effective but often ignored methods for improving fluency. When you record yourself, you hear your own pronunciation, rhythm, and mistakes. It gives you a clear picture of how you sound to others. Here's how to do it. Choose a topic, like my favorite food. Record yourself speaking for 1 to 2 minutes without stopping. Listen carefully to the recording. Ask yourself, did I speak too slowly or too fast? Did I use fillers naturally? Did I make grammar mistakes that I can fix next time? Record again on the same topic, but improve just one thing. You don't need to sound perfect immediately. The goal is progress. Each recording should sound better than the last one. Here's a small challenge for you. Record yourself today talking about my last vacation. Tomorrow, listen to it again and try to improve your tone and rhythm. Next, let's practice role-playing conversations in more detail. In Part 5, you learn the basics of role-play. Now, let's push it further. Role-playing helps you prepare for real-life situations by practicing them in advance. For example, imagine you are at a job interview. The interviewer asks, "Can you tell me about yourself?" You could answer, "Yes, my name is Anna. I enjoy working in teams and I have experience in customer service." Then the interviewer says, "Why do you want this job?" You could respond, "I want this job because I like helping people and I believe I can contribute to your company with my skills." Role-playing interviews gives you confidence when the real situation happens. Let's try another role play. Visiting a doctor. "Doctor, what seems to be the problem today?" You, "I have a headache and I feel very tired." Doctor, "How long have you felt this way?" You, "I've felt this way for about 3 days." These simple exchanges prepare you for everyday conversations. To practice role play on your own, write down a short dialogue, then read both parts out loud or record yourself as both speakers. This exercise improves both your speaking and listening at the same time. Now, let's work on follow-up questions in depth. You already learned how to ask follow-up questions to keep conversations alive, but let's practice making them more specific and interesting. For example, if someone says, "I went hiking last weekend," you could ask, "Where did you go hiking? How long was the hike? What did you enjoy the most?" Notice how each question adds more detail and keeps the conversation going. Let's try another one. If someone says, "I watched a movie last night," you can ask, "What movie did you watch? Who did you watch it with? Would you recommend it?" Follow-up questions show interest and give you more practice. Here's a quick drill. I'll give you some sentences. Think of at least 2 follow-up questions for each one. "I started a new hobby." "I had a busy day at work." "I'm planning a trip next month." Practicing this skill daily will make you sound like a natural conversationalist. Now, let's combine today's techniques. Imagine this situation. You meet a friend at a cafe. They say, "I just got a new job." First, respond with emotional language. "Wow, that's amazing. You must feel so excited and proud." Second, ask follow-up questions. "What kind of job is it? How do you feel about your new coworkers?" Third, if you're practicing alone, turn it into a role play. Imagine both sides of the conversation. Finally, record yourself and listen back for feedback. By combining these steps, you practice fluency from many angles: emotions, questions, role play, and self-correction. Before we end Part 9, let's review the key skills you learned today. Adding emotional language to make your English more alive. Recording yourself to get clear feedback and improve step by step. Using detailed role play for real-life conversations. Practicing deeper follow-up questions to keep conversations going. These techniques will not only improve your English, but also make you a better communicator. You have now reached the final part of this 30-day fluency journey. In the last sections, you practiced emotional language, self-recording, role-playing, and asking deeper follow-up questions. Step by step, you have built many powerful habits. Now, It's time to bring everything together into a daily practice routine. Learn how to stay motivated and discover how to measure your progress. Let's begin with your daily practice routine. Consistency is the secret to fluency. Even short daily practice is more effective than studying for many hours once a week. Here is a simple routine you can follow every day. Warm up 5 minutes. Start with a short shadowing or echo practice session. Choose one audio or video clip in English and repeat after the speaker. This will wake up your mouth, tongue, and brain in English. Speaking practice 10 minutes. Choose a topic and practice nonstop speaking. Remember, don't stop even if you make mistakes. Use fillers, paraphrasing, and emotional language to keep going. Listening memory 5 minutes. Listen to a short dialogue and repeat as much as you can remember. This trains you to process and respond quickly. Role play 10 minutes. Imagine a real-life situation like ordering food, meeting a new friend, or talking at work. Play both sides of the conversation. Reflection 5 minutes. Record yourself speaking and listen back. Notice one thing you want to improve for next time. This routine takes about 30-35 minutes. You can adjust it depending on your schedule, but the key is to practice every day. Even if you only have 10 minutes, do a shorter version. The important thing is not to break the habit. Next, let's talk about motivation. It is natural to feel tired or discouraged sometimes. On those days, remind yourself why you started learning English in the first place. Was it for a better job to travel to connect with people around the world? Keep that reason close to your heart. Another way to stay motivated is to track your small wins. For example, the first time you answered a question without translating in your head. The first time you understood a movie scene without subtitles. The first time you spoke to someone in English and they understood you clearly. Write these small victories in a notebook. When you feel discouraged, look back at them. They will show you how far you have already come. You can also stay motivated by making practice fun. Watch a TV show you enjoy. Listen to music or play games in English. Learning doesn't always have to feel like study. The more you enjoy the process, the longer you will keep going. Now let's focus on measuring your progress. Fluency is not something that appears. Suddenly, it grows little by little. So how do you know you are improving? Here are a few ways. Time yourself. At the beginning of this journey, maybe you could only speak for 30 seconds without stopping. After practicing nonstop speaking, check again. Can you now speak for 2 minutes, 3 minutes? This is real progress. Record and compare. Listen to a recording from the first week and compare it with one from today. Notice how your tone, rhythm, and confidence have improved. Feedback from others. Talk to a friend, teacher, or language partner and ask them if they notice a difference. Sometimes others can see your growth more clearly than you can. Daily life experiences. Pay attention to how you feel in real situations. Do you understand more when listening? Do you answer faster in conversations? These are signs that your fluency is growing. Remember, improvement is not always visible day by day. But if you look back over weeks or months, the change is clear. Finally, let's talk about your next steps. You have learned many techniques: shadowing, echo, practice, thinking aloud, expanding sentences, using fillers, polite pauses, mirroring, role-playing, asking follow-up questions, adding emotions, describing images, nonstop speaking, contrasts, listening, memory, and more. Now, Choose your favorite 5 techniques and make them part of your long-term routine. For example, your personal routine might look like this: shadowing for 5 minutes, nonstop speaking for 5 minutes, role-playing for 5 minutes, follow-up question practice for 5 minutes, recording and feedback for 5 minutes. That's only 25 minutes. But if you do it every day, your fluency will continue to grow. Here is one final challenge for you. Record a 5-minute speech about yourself. Talk about your background, hobbies, dreams, and reasons for learning English. Keep it simple, but keep it flowing. This recording will be your day 30 milestone. Save it in the future. When you feel unsure, listen to it again and compare it with new recordings. You will hear your progress clearly. Remember this: fluency is not perfection. Fluency means being able to communicate your ideas, feelings, and stories in a natural way. Mistakes are part of learning. Confidence is what makes you fluent. So keep practicing. Use English daily. Celebrate your small wins, and most importantly, enjoy the journey, because every word you speak, every sentence you build, every conversation you have, it all moves you closer to the confident, fluent English speaker you want to be. This is the end of part 10 and the completion of your 30-day fluency journey. But it is not the end of your English learning. It is only the beginning of a lifelong adventure. Stay consistent, stay curious, and keep speaking. The world is waiting to hear your voice in English. If you found today's masterclass helpful and you want more lessons like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss any of the daily English learning videos that will guide you step by step toward fluency. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you get notified every time a new lesson is posted. Thank you for spending this time practicing with me today. I'm proud of the effort you're making for your English. Keep going. Stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, take care and keep speaking English every single